Hey guys, welcome back. Justin Siebert here. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about how to be successful in a manufacturing environment, right? That's the industry I've worked in for about 15 plus years. Started when I was 19 years old on the shop floor, worked my way into leadership, managing people, leading people. But I would say over the years, the question I received the most is how was I able to be successful at such a young age, not so much anymore, but at such a young age in the environment that I'm in. And I think it comes down to the three, what I call the 3 Ps: people, process, and product. Okay, from a people standpoint, I've done a video in the past about respect and how to gain respect. If you haven't seen that video yet, I would say go watch that video. But as a young leader of people, or not even if you're an individual contributor, you have to gain the respect of your peers, your colleagues, and the people working for you, the people up and below you in the organization, or you're gonna have a real tall mountain to climb ahead of you. You got to gain respect first, okay? So that's the people part of the 3 Ps. You have to gain respect. You have to be an effective communicator, okay? You have to be able to deliver the good news. You have to deliver the bad news sometimes, right? If there's a plant closure or a policy that's being rolled out that you may or may not agree with by corporate, or something's changed, right? A benefit related, anything you can possibly think of, you have to be prepared for those things, right? Because you are the face of, whether you're leading 5 people, 10 people, 50, 100, thousands of people, they're looking to you for direction. And if you can't be that leader to stand up in front and explain to people, answer tough questions, engage with your team, and engage with your leadership ahead of you, you're not gonna have the respect of your people, right? And you're doomed. Or if you had some respect, you're gonna lose it. You always have to be that accountable leader, right? So from a people perspective, respect and communication. Process, right? So you have to understand your process in a manufacturing environment. Whether you're a supply chain person, a engineer, whatever your background is, if you're leading people, you don't want to be seen as, you're just Matt's the smart guy, or Julie's the smart woman that just came out of college. They don't know what the hell they're doing. They just got the job because they have great credentials from a top business school. They don't have the experience, right? Now, if you look at, well, I didn't really have to go through that. Well, you're right, but I had to work my ass off in a different way, right? I did go to school at the same time. It took me about 5.5 years to get my 4-year degree, 6 years. And, but I had that experience. So no one could ever say to me, if they did, they were wrong, that I didn't have the technical background, because I had to learn that the hard way, right? Or the education, because my background's a little bit unique, so it may not relate to many of you. But at the end of the day, you have to understand your process of what you're doing, whether it's an assembly line type environment, if it's a machine setting, special processing, whatever it is. You have to put in the effort, most likely on downtime, right, or overtime. Come in early, look at things through your lunch, stay late, come in on the weekends on your own time, earlier in your career when you can do that. You have to understand your process, guys. That's the bottom line here, because you have to be able to make decisions on the fly in a manufacturing, high stress, high pressure environment, all the time. You're doing that every minute of every hour of every day, 365 days a year. You're responsible for something if you're in manufacturing, and if you're not, you can relate it to another business, because process is the same in every business, right? And then the last P is your product, whatever it is. If it's a product, if you're making shoes, t-shirts, airplane parts, car parts, something on the internet, e-commerce, whatever your product is or service, you obviously have to know that inside and out too, because people, regardless if you're a technical expert, a subject matter expert in that area, you need to become one, right? You have to be self-aware enough to put in the extra effort, receive that education. Sometimes it may be on your own. A lot of the times your company will pay for you to become that individual, but sometimes it's going to be out of your own pocket, and you need to understand and make that decision if you are willing to invest in yourself, if that's what you want to be doing in your career, right? Because you have to understand the product or service of what your organization does. And between those three, I would say the speed of which you can become great in those three areas, people, process, and your product, that's going to enable you to be extremely successful in your career, earlier in your career, midway through your career, and certainly later in your career. But if you're looking to get off to a good start, differentiate yourself from others, whether you're coming out of college, you're undergrad and you're going into the workplace, or maybe you went to grad school, or you're just earlier in your career. Maybe you're in a technical trade and you don't want to be doing that forever. Maybe you want to become a supervisor, a manager, plant manager, whatever that is. You have to be an expert in those three areas, and that's going to help you. Okay? So make sure to like my content. If you have any questions, please comment below. I'll answer those. Check out my Instagram, The Corporate Mentor. Check that out. I'm posting there usually daily and reposting valuable content from others. And please subscribe to my channel. I'll be putting out more and more videos to help you and others become more successful in their career in the corporate world. Okay? We'll talk to you next time. Cheers.